special education. Special education is a practice of educating students with different or exceptional needs such as disabilities, learning disabilities, or giftedness in a way that accommodates their individual differences. Special education is also governed by federal law and requires individualized education programs for each student. Special education encompasses educational programs that serves children with mental, physical, emotional, and behavioral disabilities. An existing law for students with disabilities, which we call the Education for All Handicapped Children Act or the Public Law 94-142, which enacted by the 94th United States Congress and was signed into law by President General Ford on November 29, 1975. Which stated that students with disabilities are less likely than students without disabilities to start school and have lower rates of staying and being promoted in school. Learn more about students with special needs. Special needs are additional needs referred to the individual who require assistance with disability that may be medical, mental, or psychological. The types of special needs vary in severity, and a student with a special need is classified as being a severe case when the student IQ is between 20 and 35. In the U.S., after the creation of Individual with Disability Education Act and many other regulations, students with disability could not be insecure or discriminate against in the education system.
Most common barriers and difficulties encountered by students. Number 1. Physical inaccessibility. This is one of the most prominent barriers for students with disabilities. School and college buildings in most countries lack basic infrastructure to make the institution physically accessible for students with disabilities.
Is lack of awareness. Again, one of the most common causes that create barriers of students with disability is lack of awareness. Interestingly, this lack of awareness hits students with disability from multiple directions.
Number 3. Lack of individualization. This perhaps the least talk about barriers faced by students with disabilities. In most countries, a blanket approach is used for students with disabilities. This blanket approach is based on present categories related on the basis of disability.
Negative attitude and stereotype. Almost every country of the world has one of a stereotype and negative connotation related to disability. Being a part of society, educational institutions too are affected by this negative attitude towards students with disability.
The last one is unavailability or lack of accessible study material. This barrier faced mostly by students with low vision or blindness in his perhaps. The biggest hurdle them, study material accessible format in braille or audiobook or either unavailable or available at cost of affordable price students.
A student with disability in the general education classroom. Number 1. Be patient. When you have a student with disability in your classroom, you need to be patient with them. If a student has a learning disability and they forget their homework again, be patient. You must always keep in mind that if the student forgets something, it is not their fault. Focus on the student's learning. If you want a student who might have a disability to be successful in your classroom, don't underestimate their ability. Just because a student might not be able to handle certain things due to their disability doesn't mean that they are incapable for accomplishing other things. Help boosts your student confidence. A lot of students with disability will be often lack confidence. There may be struggle with their individual disability not only in your classroom but in the other classroom too. Help the student build their confidence in the classroom through giving full support. 4. Use visual aid. When you are presenting a lesson, you should try to incorporate some visual aids that will help a student with disability understand your lesson better. This could include charts, computer program, picture, and video pictures. Number 5. Have a student work more with peers. Allow your student to work with their peers more during activities or assignments in the classroom. The student with disability learning better
if they are working with other students rather than independently. It also helps to create a more positive learning environment.
You know how to treat students with disability?
Actually, I do. These are the way to treat the student with disability. The first one is assume the best. Presume competence and always err on the side of assuming the child means well. Sometimes disabled children are assumed to be angry or disappointed. When their disability is impeding their ability to move smoothly or process the demands being placed upon them. Assume that the child or teen is doing the best they can do right now.
Number 2, show them patience and understanding when there is struggle. A kid with disability will not be able to do everything their peers can do, and that's okay. Be kind to help them learn not to feel bad about being disabled.
Number 3, avoid making assumptions instead. Ask questions if you don't know. If you are well-meaning, most people with disability are happy to fill in. Try to ask what they want or need.
4, don't fear disability. It may be new to you, but to the disabled person, it's a fact of life. There's no need to get nervous or angry around the person.
See the person and the disability. They want to be seen as a person, while having their limits and challenge respect. If you accommodate their needs, recognize their strengths, and listen to them, you will have achieved this.
We also interviewed one student with special need who experienced academic difficulties because of her disability. Let's call her by the name Anne. She is a grade 12 student with stage 5 chronic kidney disease. It is a condition characterized by gradual loss of kidney function over time. It can lead to other problems like heart disease, high blood pressure, and eventually to complete kidney failure. And because of her condition, she is having a hard time to stand up by herself and eventually to walk by herself. So she needs assistance from other people around her, especially from her family and friends.
In this interview,
the first question is, what academic difficulties do you encounter as a student with special need?
as a student with a physical disability, I'm having a hard time to write, type, or engage in physical activities, which can impact my ability to complete my assignments.
The second question is, how do you overcome the difficulties you encounter?
I overcome these difficulties with the help of my friends and family.
And the last one is, do you have any suggestions to students with special needs, especially on how to overcome the academic difficulties they encounter?
Self-advocacy, learn to express your self-needs and communicate with your family, friends, and with your teacher. Don't hesitate to reach out with your people you trust. Lastly, embrace your strengths and talents. Even though we have disabilities, this cannot stop us to have our strengths and